So welcome back to Manhood Unscripted. I'm Carlos Lassiter. First, let me address two questions that are connected. How do I stop constantly dumping my emotional issues on my family and friends? How do I stop carrying emotional baggage from my childhood into my marriage or my fatherhood? These questions are different, but they're related. They're both about emotional baggage, how we carry it, where we put it, and how it affects the people around us. Unfortunately, I think this actually affects more fathers than we want to admit. You know you're bringing something from your past into the present, but you don't know how to stop it. First, let's talk about transferring emotional baggage to your family and friends, because it isn't exactly fair. It's okay to come to them with some things. That's what relationships are for: support, connection, help when needed. But constantly dropping baggage off on them, emotional issues, it's tough. They're not your therapist. As much as some people use their family and friends as therapists, they're not. Right? So they love you, they're just not your therapist. When support becomes a crutch, here's what happens. When you have someone there to fall on every single time, no matter what you get yourself in, for every little circumstance throughout your life, especially early on in your life, you kind of get used to that. They become a crutch in the sort of way. And crutches are meant to be temporary. They're supposed to help you until you can walk on your own again. But when they become permanent, you never develop the strength to carry it yourself. So when you become a full-grown adult, the smallest of situations seem tough to you. Things that other people handle without much thought at all. Right? Those things overwhelm you. And that's really just a shock to your system, be honest. It's not really anything tough, it's just a shock to your system. You don't know what to do. You spin out of control because you weren't able to walk on your own. You always had that crutch there to pick you up. But when you don't, things get hectic. Stuff that a lot of people look at like, that's just small compared to what I've been through or what I've experienced. To you, it gets blown out of proportion. Not because you're weak, but because you just don't know how to deal with it. You weren't allowed to. You haven't been given the opportunity or allowed yourself to deal with it. So you can actually hit that patch as an adult. It can get a little harder than usual. You don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to go about your business. And I say that's why a lot of parents share a lot of their kids to go through some stuff in their younger adult lives. I'm talking 18, 19, 20, late teenage years. It'll help them as they progress into becoming adults. That's one thing I always thank my mama for. Thank you for letting me struggle a little bit. Like, thank you for letting me figure it out on my own. It makes me a better man now, right? Instead of always being there to help me up and catch me. Let me fall sometimes. Let me trip myself up. Let me try to figure it out. It's a lot of what a lot of people can't do because some people weren't allowed to. The wrong time to learn. When you become an adult, it's probably the worst time to learn how to work through your differences and learn how to work through things. I'm talking like mid-adults, like 25, 26, 27. You probably should be learning these things early on, late teenage years. I say, it's my personal opinion. You probably need to learn these things a little bit as you coming up as a teenager and a young adult. When I say young adult, I'm talking about 18 to 22 years old. It's a good time frame to let people learn on their own, fall a little bit. That's a good time for you to learn how to work through your situations. So when you hit 25, 27, 28, around that age range, when you have a family, a wife, kids, or become a husband, you know how to get through things. You don't have to constantly depend on people to fall on when you're going through something. But if you didn't learn then, here's reality. Some of those who didn't learn, early 20s, 18 to 22 years old, a lot of them, they got to adulthood without those skills, without those things and that foundation built. Carrying baggage you never learn to put down. Maybe your parents always fixed things for you. Maybe they never fixed anything and you had to survive on your own. Maybe they loaded you up with their own baggage. Maybe you experienced trauma you never processed. That's a whole nother thing about this. So you can do, like your parents can be overkill, or family members or whoever can be overkill, or they can not do enough. There needs to be a happy balance, right? A nice, healthy balance, right? But whatever the reason, you're an adult now. You're still carrying it. You're still dumping it on people. You're still letting it affect your marriage, your fatherhood, your life. So what do you do? What can you do? That childhood baggage problem. This here affects way too many adults. I get it. If you had a real serious issue growing up as a kid, I know. Right? I get it. I got my own situations or whatever that, I had to navigate through. Thank God for my village. So I was still able to do things in my life. I was still able to be successful, be this great human being, and have a chance of being a great man and a great adult. Right? But we all got these things we can go back in our childhood and look at like, dang, that was tough. But you got through it though. Right? You don't need to keep carrying this baggage over and over and over again, bringing it up over and over and over again. Why you can't do this? Why you don't have this in life? Why you're not this place in life? Whose fault is that at this point? You're almost 40, for goodness sake. Once you hit them 30s, cut it. All that noise stop. Once you hit them 30s, yo, at this point, it's all on you. When I get it, your 20s was messed up a little bit because of probably what you had in your handling your childhood. Whatever happened in your childhood. Your 20s, yeah, that's probably gonna be a little iffy. Once you hit them 30s, you should have been able to work through that. It was up to you to figure all that out at that point. Right, so let's get specific about the baggage in your childhood, right? How do you start carrying it into your marriage or fatherhood? Because that's what's gonna happen if you don't handle it. Pattern you're repeating over and over again. Maybe your father was distant, so you're distant with your kids. Maybe your parents fought constantly, so you avoid conflict at all costs, or you create conflict, so you learn. Maybe you were criticized constantly, so you're defensive with your wife all the time. Lack of confidence. Maybe you felt invincible as a kid, so you're overcompensate by controlling everything now. That's definitely a possibility. You see the pattern. You know it's from your childhood, but knowing where it comes from doesn't automatically make it stop. You have to do something about it. You have to take action. So what do you need to do? Just be the best father you can be at the end of the day. Learn what you don't know and push forward as hard as you can in learning things that you don't know. Right? Acknowledge what you don't know, then go learn what you don't know. It's very simple. When I became a father, I know everything. Right? I didn't have the quote unquote mother, father, household, married, and all that type of stuff there together. No, that's not what I had. Parents were teenagers. Father did some time in prison, No, my grandparents picked up some slack on that end. So, my upbringing ain't this perfect thing, but I had a village though. And they gave me the best versions of themselves. Even if they were going through things themselves, they gave me the best version of themselves. I took advantage of it. Just go learn things you don't know. There's things I had to go learn. Because there's things I didn't see, things like that. But I had to go learn them, and I did. Right? So go talk to someone. Seriously, get professional help if you need it. You need a therapist, get therapy. It's okay. I've been thinking about possibly getting therapy myself. It's okay. I've been going back and forth. Should I get therapy? I want to talk to this person about this, that. I'm sure a lot of men like that. I'm not about to sit there and talk to somebody about my personal issues. It's just something, I don't know, men just really don't want to do. Yeah, there's no shame in that. Why would you try to fix deep emotional patterns without help? You're not skilled in that area. Let's be honest. It's people that train in this area. It's people that study the brain, the human mind, things like that. So go get professional help. Be there with the kids and learn them. The best way to becoming a better father is to learn your kids. Right? Not just physically present. Actually learn who they are. Being in the household is not enough. Spending time with them. Getting to know them, their likes, their wants, their dislikes, their issues. Learn them. Being in the household is not enough. You get to know them, have conversations with them, how they experience the world. Let them teach you how to be their father instead of assuming you already know. And all your kids are different. I have 2 girls. I know they come from the same 2 parents. They're going to grow up in the same household, but they're 2 different people. They're going to see life in two totally different ways. I'm going to have to get to know each one of them. Just because you know your older kid, I mean, you're going to know your younger kid. You got to do this all over again, however many kids you have. Right? Over and over again. And work on yourself before you get married. Right? If you know you got all this emotional baggage, don't bring it into your marriage. It's not going to help. Before you become a father, if possible, I know things happen, but if you can work yourself before you become a father, hey, solve them things that happen in your child so you don't give that to your kid. You can't scar your kid with things that you were scarred with. That's ideal. Work on yourself first before you go get a family and kids. Work on those elements in your life before you bring someone else into them. But here's the reality most of us face. If you're already married, if you already have kids, well, you got to do it while you are being a father and being a husband. You have to really take some time and work on yourself if you're already within the fight, in the battle. You're already a father, you're already a husband. Well, fix yourself while you are that. You can still improve. You're going to have to improve because you're not going to be perfect. Because you already have them now, right? You can't undo that. You can undo being if you want to get out your marriage, you can, but don't do it just because you refuse to work on yourself. That's just running away, honestly. That's just quitting and running away, personally. But you're a father, you can't undo that. That's just what it is. That's permanent. You can't undo that unless you want to be a deadbeat. Right? I definitely wouldn't promote that. So work on yourself. Work on being a better husband. Work on being a better father. So you need to focus on being a better person, being more aware of the different things that are coming up. This is a new life. This is a fresh start. Just think about it that way. You're not your past. You're not what was done to you. You're not the patterns you learned. You're not the baggage you were given. You can be the greatest father you can be. You can push forward and do whatever you want to do and build whatever life that you want for yourself, no matter what happened in your childhood. You became an adult. This is a new version of you. You can create whatever version you want to create of yourself. You're an adult. You're a father. You're a husband. You can live the best life you could possibly live, no matter what your childhood was. Your past is not your future. Your past is not your future. Your past is not your future. Let me say that again because it matters. Your past is not your future. Understand that. What happened to you doesn't have to determine what you do. The way you were raised doesn't have to be the way you raise your kids. The patterns you learn don't have to be the patterns you repeat over and over again. Create a great future for yourself. Creating a great future for yourself and your family, you can do that. Not by pretending that the past didn't happen, because it is what it is, it's a part of you. Not by ignoring the baggage, but by acknowledging it, working through it, and choosing to do something different, right? Not repeating the same patterns over and over again. Here's what that looks like practically, in my opinion. It's when you shut down your kids as, am I repeating the same things that I've seen? Is this about them, or is it how I was treated? Right? You really have to reflect sometimes about how you react to your household, your family, your wife, your kids. You really have to reflect like, dang, and sometimes I reflect like, oh yeah, I did too much. I got mad for no reason, right? Oh no, I gotta fix that. I might need to go back and address that. You're gonna have to do that. It's something you're gonna have to do as a man, as a father, as a husband. Those things will have to happen. Apologize when you mess up. Like I said, I'm still working on it. I'm still full of this pride. Sometimes I have an issue going back and apologizing, but I'm working on it. I'm getting a little better. I pat myself on the back. I reacted that way because something from my past, not because of what you did. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Right? Do the work. Read. Go to therapy. Talk to mentors. Learn the skills you didn't learn as a kid. You're not too old. You're not too far gone. You can still learn. That's the thing. Like, we have to be students throughout our entire life. We never stop learning. We never stop reinventing ourselves. We have to keep doing that. Give yourself grace. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to slip back into old patterns sometimes. That's okay. Acknowledge it and keep moving forward. And continue to decrease those patterns over time. Break the cycle. The greatest thing you can do for your kids is to not pass your baggage on to them. Deal with your stuff so they don't have to carry it throughout their lives. Don't pass your baggage on to them. Stop making others your therapist. They're not your therapist. Go find a therapist. Go pay someone that's trained in that area. They love you. They want to support you, but they shouldn't be your only source of emotional processing. They shouldn't be your crutch. Because when you do that, you're affecting them emotionally as well. And then some of them are getting tired of, they're not saying it. Like, all right, listen, okay, how many times you gonna come to me about the same thing over and over again for one? Fix it. Fix it. Now, here's my suggestion of what to do instead of constantly dumping your emotional baggage on those family members and friends. Get professional help if you need it. A therapist, a counselor, someone trained to help you process what you're carrying. That's what they're there for. That's what family members might not be able to do. They can listen to you, they could be an ear, but they might not be able to help you process through these issues that you have. I would say that's probably the best thing about possibly going to get a therapist. It's helping you, they can help you through your process because they're trained on these things, right? Develop your own coping mechanisms. Learn to sit with uncomfortable emotions. Learn to process things on your own before you bring them to others. Journal. I do a lot of writing myself. I have hundreds of notes in my phone. Write down your thoughts and your feelings and work through them. Why are you feeling that way? Just write. Just write. Go back and look at them. Right, and break down what you wrote. Exercise, meditate, pray. Find whatever works for you. Whatever coping mechanism works for you, but find one. Be selective about what you share. Not every emotional struggle needs to be shared with everyone. Some things you work through on your own. Some things you take to a professional. Some things you share with your close people. Learn to discern which is which. Discernment was a big deal in this process. Learn what to share and what not to share and who to share it with. It's a big deal. Social media is not your friend, by the way. I'm willing to tell you that. Social media is not your friend. Be careful. When you do share, make it a conversation, not a dump. Like, don't overload and walk away. Engage, ask for specific help if you need it. Acknowledge that you're asking for their emotional labor, their emotional thought process, their emotional comments, right? And be able to accept their comments on whatever they say, right? Just because it's something that you might not want to hear, don't mean they're wrong. Don't mean they're hating. Don't mean they're trying to hurt you. They may just be telling you the truth. Discernment. Figure out which one is which. Build multiple sources of support. Don't put all your baggage and emotional weight on one person. Spread it out. Have different people you can talk to about different things. Understand, everyone won't be able to help you through every single thing. Some people don't have the experience to help you in certain areas. Figure out who is who and who can do these things for you. Look, we all carry baggage. Every single one of us has stuff from our past that affects our present. That's being human. But you have a choice about what you do with it. You can carry it, keep carrying it, keep dumping it on people you love, keep letting it dictate how you show up as a father and as a husband, or you can do the work. You can learn what you didn't learn before. You can break the patterns. You can create something different for yourself and your family. Your past is not your future. It shaped you, but it doesn't define you. Be the best father you can be. Work on yourself. Get help when you need it. Be aware of when your baggage is affecting your present and shut it down. Remove it. Dump it off. Get rid of it. This is a new life. This is a fresh start. You can do that. You can create a future for yourself and your family. Stop carrying what wasn't yours to carry to begin with. And stop making others carry it for you. It's not their responsibility. It's yours to figure it out. It's yours to work through. It's yours to get rid of and dump off. Do the work. Break the cycle. Build something better than what you have now. Thank you. This has been Emotional Baggage with your host, Carlos Lassiter. Peace.